2020 is the year with no Christmas party. It wasn't even mentioned at our workplace. Was it for you? Welcome to the Brewmance on the radio. My name is Rob Hunter. His name is Mike Russell. Thank you for joining us for Arizona's only craft beer radio show where we connect you to the craft beer world, but we also have interesting conversations over a beer of the week every single week here on 550 KFY. Mike, what's this week's beer of the week?
My favorite. It's Mother Road Brewing Company's Conserve and Protect. It's not even a Kolsch this time. Last time it was a Kolsch. This time it is a golden ale. This is in conjunction with your Arizona Game and Fish Department, and the proceeds, part of the proceeds, go to a donation to the Game and Fish Department, which conserves and protects over 860 species of animal right here in the state of Arizona. They do a little bit more than just hunting and fishing because only 60 of those species are huntable or fishable. The other 800 need to be managed and paid for by cool stuff like this.
I wonder if scorpions are in there, and I wonder if we can manage them a little bit better, as in maybe we could just get rid of them. Let's just get rid of the scorpions.
Do you have a Burns-O-Matic?
No, what is a Burns-O-Matic?
It's the little dammit that goes on top of the propane tank, and then you screw it in, and you just hit and it goes.
Oh yeah,
torch. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
First time I went scorpion humping, we used one of those at a friend's house. They were like, "Okay, let's go find some scorpions," and torched them up. I'm like, I feel kind of bad about this,
and end them.
Mm-hmm. But it's them or me.
They're good bird food, and they take care of crickets too, which are other bird food too. So I guess if we get rid of one, we don't really have to worry about the other, right?
Well, that's right. It's all a balance, just like we're talking about with
I'm not a biologist,
beer. I didn't either. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do.
Speaking about balance, look, I didn't even get a hint of a virtual Christmas party. I don't know of a lot of people that got a hint of a virtual Christmas party. My wife's company, not even. They'd fly people up to Portland, and it was this big thing, and it was a big shindig, and everybody had a great time, and they're giving a bunch of prizes away and doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Not a whisper. Not even an email. Not even a Feliz Navidad email. It was just, you can't, nope, COVID killed it, so move on. And it's weird to me that the people we talk to and the people we actually do see at the station here is that we don't even talk about it. No one's even mentioning it. Like everyone has just fallen into the groove here with everything's canceled. And I think everyone is just assuming that there's going to be no Christmas parties, and it didn't surprise anyone.
Yeah, but the lack of communication was interesting, though. And I'm only talking about it from our perspective because it almost was like, oh, crap, it's December. Like, even though this was the weirdest year ever, it was still like, the year still flew by. I'm like, what did I do this year? I don't know. It doesn't matter because it's almost 2021. I mean, we're literally 2 weeks away from 2021 and starting it all over again. So, but it was odd that I didn't even see any stories about canceled Christmas party because you and I, as our day job, as Russell and Hunter, 4 to 7 right here on 550 KFYI, we go through news stories every day. We get prepared for the show. We're reading news for hours and hours and hours on end. I didn't even see any mentions of Christmas parties in stories because normally you get the same story. It's like the same story every year. Oh, here's the what not to do at the Christmas party. Don't get too drunk. Don't be the person everyone's laughing at and talking about. Didn't even see any of those stories because there was no parties. Didn't even see any of the canceled Christmas parties. Like nothing.
The only thing I saw earlier in the week was that Times Square celebration is going to be vacant. So it'll be those slappies from CNN and CBS and ABC up there on rafters, not with nothing behind them, essentially. I would even be surprised if they would be out there. So that's a good thing that actually has come out of this whole COVID thing. We don't have to watch the CNN people get drunk and just make fools of themselves. But that actually goes back to the good part about the Christmas party too, right? Well, the Christmas parties are gone, so let's just put it this way. Everyone will probably have their job on January 4th instead of get axed because of their actions at the Christmas party.
Well, that is true, but it's just odd how I think the overall part of it is we just gave up on 2020. We're just like that. We're just mailing. Like there was a point where I think we knew, and it may not have been until August, because I thought we had the impression, okay, March and April and we're going to maybe May, we're going to suck. But maybe at some point in the summer, we're going to be able to have some concerts, maybe be able to go out and do something, but that never materialized. So I think by August, we just kind of knew instinctively that the entire year was going to be canceled. So we're like, okay, who cares about Christmas parties? We're all done because nobody wants to gather together and have a super spreader event.
Is there a reason why you brought up concerts, Rob?
Yeah, I did.
Reason why you brought up concerts that did not happen before the end of the year?
You still have a chance. You still have like 12
You can
days.
go ahead. You can just go ahead and send me your order now. I will pay up my bet. I do owe you 2 4-packs of beer of your choice.
When did we? Do you remember when we made that bet?
I think it was July. Yeah. I thought it was a safe bet. Mm-hmm. But there I go. As my grandfather and father would always say, there you go thinking again.
See, I kind of had a sense then that we were just packing it in. We're like, okay, 2021, here we come. Mm-hmm. We're just barely halfway through 2020. We're like already looking forward to 2021. Right. And I don't even know. It might not be until the summer till we have a concert. Like there's a concert I want to see that's scheduled for the Van Buren here in Phoenix at the end of June 26th. I'm very curious to see if that actually will go on or not. Because it's a small venue, 2,000 people. It's really going to depend on vaccination schedules, I guess.
Who dat?
Kaytranada is the artist. He's like an electronic
third guess.
Yeah, good third guess.
Almost there. Yeah.
Yep. So, but we'll see if it happens.
Behind Yanni and an Eagles cover band.
Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with you can go wrong with an Eagles cover band, but that's besides the point.
Not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm curious to see if that happens. Like that, how crazy is that? We're talking 6 months away. The end of June, I'm wondering if the concert will stay there.
And if you're going to have to show some sort of papers, you have to show some sort of immunization records to go to, especially like a place like the Van Buren, where it is only 2,000 people and it is very cramped in there. And there is no option for social distancing in there.
Yeah. And like, what if you just say, okay, I'm signing a waiver. I don't care if I get COVID at the event. So what? I just don't want to get vaccinated.
Can't sign it right away.
Well, but it's interesting that you're going to have to choose. Like, nope, we're not going to let you in. And a business has a right to do that. I don't know that I would exercise that right as that freedom if I were a business owner. But at the same time, they don't want to get sued either. So if I come back and be like, I went to the Kaytranada concert and I got COVID and I got really, really sick, I can't blame the Van Buren, which I shouldn't be allowed to anyways. I walked in there freely, knowingly. It's on me. It's not on the Van Buren or wherever else the concert happened to be.
I walked into the store to get this Conserve and Protect. What is it? It's the Golden Ale. Sorry, I'm so used to saying Conserve and Protect Kolsch, which was their beer last year. The Conserve and Protect Golden Ale. I wasn't even thinking about, should I sign a waiver to go in there and get this, or what do I need to do? I'm just wearing my mask, which I found out on Wednesday. Check this out. Wearing a mask twice is worse than not wearing a mask at all.
Wait, who told you that?
It was a study done. I was reporting it on our show. Yeah.
No kidding. Oh, yeah, because I was off this week. So you got this. Wow.
Yes.
See, and this is what I'm saying. I was just watching something called Alien Worlds on Netflix. And it's this imagining that there's life on other planets and what it would look like based on certain conditions. And it's guess. Basically, what we're doing with COVID is we're guessing. And everybody's treating it as if it is absolute 100% concrete science. I'm like, nope. We're going to learn probably next year, but they're going to bury it. Most of the actions that were taken by governments was completely inaccurate, and it made the COVID crisis worse. I guarantee that's going to come out. Well, they might not come out, but it will be done.
And we can only hope and pray that there is a craft beer industry as strong as it was in 2019 in 2021. So that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most, is seeing the rebound and seeing the support that comes out, because when the lockdown was lifted, we all just rushed to support local and do our best to go to every place that we could. And I hope that happens this coming year as people get freed up a little bit. Put it there.
I'm just looking forward to I hope that there's some sense of normalcy by some point where you don't have to think about it every time you go, do I have my mask? Did I wear my mask twice? Did I clean my mask?
There's nothing worse than getting almost to the door of a place and going, oh, I forgot my mask.
Exactly.
Go back to the truck, because I park far away. I like to get those steps in. It's a bad thing. I'm not the guy that looks for the close spot. I don't do that.
No, neither do I. Exactly.
For people that don't have strong legs.
Let's walk, people. It's good for you.
Yeah. Yep.
In a moment, 2021. We're going to start the year with a challenge. Each of us has a different challenge. I'm going to tell you about it. See if you'll join us right here on the Brewmance on the radio on 550 KFYI.
It is the time of New Year's resolutions, and they are dumb. But if it's a challenge, now that's something we can get behind. It is Brewmance on the radio. Thank you for hanging out with us. Rob Hunter, Mike Russell. Each and every week we gather around a beer of the week, a local piece of goodness. This week, once again, Robert, what do we got, buddy?
Mother Road Brewing's Conserve and Protect Golden Ale. It used to be a Kolsch, but they switched it up. I don't really know the difference between a Golden Ale and a Kolsch, but it doesn't matter.
Taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll review the beer at the end of the program as well.
Exactly right.
This is time for New Year's resolutions. Everybody's starting to think, what are your New Year's resolutions? What are your New Year's resolutions? At least those that actually still have an office, because usually that's the time in the office is when people, hey, do you have any New Year's resolutions? What do you got planned for Christmas? What are your New Year's resolutions? Always. And I say I don't have any. I've always thought New Year's resolutions were dumb because I don't like the calendar shift to dictate my actions. If I want to make a change, why not do it right now? Why not start now? Why would I wait till something else? Why do I have to start a diet on a Monday? Why wait? If you want something changed, start now. That's why I've always scoffed at the whole New Year's resolutions thing.
Look, and let's be honest, nobody keeps track of them. Nobody does them. So I have a New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym. So yeah, you're going to go to the gym for 2 weeks and then mid-January, because it's really about the mental push. Like that's the big deal about it is, can you actually do it? Can you become a new you? It's not even about becoming a new you, but it's about challenging yourself. That's why Mike brought up the challenge word rather than the resolution.
Because that all ties into to your wheelhouse, Rob, and that's the whole mental aspect of this, and the within yourself, and can you do it, and that push and that drive and that kind of thing. So we're actually going to make it happen. We're actually going to do simultaneous challenges. Mine is much easier than Rob's, I think, but we're going to see how we go. Rob, what are you starting with, bud? On January 4th, what are you doing?
I'm going to do a no alcohol month of January. So this is going to be very challenging for me because I was talking to Mike about this, and I just came up with the idea the other day. And I was drinking bourbon the other day, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've ever gone more than 4 days, maybe 5 or 6, somewhere along the line. But I don't think I've ever gone an entire week even without having a drink of alcohol. So I said, could I do it? Do I have the mental capabilities to push myself for an entire 31 days to not have alcoholic drinks? Now, the caveat I will say, because we obviously do the Brewmance, I'm going to do non-alcoholic beers for the entire month. So whether we do a podcast or whether we do the radio show, however many items that ends up being, I'm going to try non-alcoholic beers because that'll keep me on track. And I'm curious to see if I can mentally do this, if I can mentally push through the 31 days and see if I come out stronger the other side.
And it's so much more difficult because of the business that we're in, the industry that we're in. This is we have a craft beer radio show. So I mean, it's not like we can say, I want to do the dry January thing because I just want to. Something happens. I mean, I was dealing with Red Mountain and they were like, no alcohol, like the first 3 weeks. And I said, no, hold on a second. We have to build this in because I have a beer radio show. Like I'm not one of those guys that you can just prescribe no alcohol. I have to take away, a third of my business at that point, if that's the case. So for you, Rob, that's going to be a challenge. Now we are the Brewmance. So my challenge is going to be to not drink beer.
Whoa.
So my challenge is going to switch to spirits for the entire month. Because like I said, mine's a lot easier than Rob's. But I've always had a block with the spirits. I've always had a block with something other than beer because I'll know I could sit here and drink these Conserve and Protect golden ales. I could drink 1, I could drink 2, and then I'll know that line is approaching. And then I can make the decision whether or not to step over that line or not because I know where that line is. With spirits, no idea, no clue at all. Like wine, you think about wine, I could drink a whole bottle of wine sitting here talking to you, Rob. I can drink a whole bottle of wine and not feel it until I stand up and walk out of this room and I'm smashed. So because I don't know where that line is. So it's more going to be find out what I like and don't like. So it's going to be a fun challenge. But I am going to miss my beloved bubbly.
So are you not going to drink beer at all for the entire month or just not on? So you're just going to go spirit month only.
Correct.
But see, that is a challenge in and of itself. Because like you said, you're so used to just going to the beer fridge, cracking open a beer and having a beer at night. No big deal. So that's going to be a challenge in and of itself because you have to think about what really is a habit and you have to kind of change that habit up. So This is a very interesting thing because the way at least I'm thinking about this right now is to try to do 12 of these challenges throughout the entire year. For me, mental challenges to push myself to see what I can and cannot do. Now I have to come up with 11 other mental challenges, but I think one of them is going to be sugar because I have a sweet tooth, big time sweet tooth. So I don't know if I can eliminate sugar. I don't even, because Mike has done that and he did that years ago and he's been on this insane track for how many years now?
6, 7, something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it was interrupted only because we went out to a certain fast food place.
But that was early on. That was I think I was only months in at the time, and that was ridiculous. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
So now I know what that does to me. So I don't want to do that again.
Exactly. But that was in the sauce that we ate. It wasn't. We didn't we go have dessert. We didn't have a bunch of Oreos. But I have a sweet tooth for those. So one of the months, probably February, because it's only 28 days. I'm going to have a no dessert challenge to see if I can go a whole entire month without desserts just to kind of push myself a little bit. Because one of the things
I'm going with you. But obviously no desserts for me, but that's easy. But we'll pick something I can ditch for that month too.
Yeah,
I'm going exactly with you on this. I'm not you. I'm right beside you on this, pal.
I love it.
I'll do 12 of them.
And that helps, right? Having a peer, a buddy, one of your best friends be able to do something like this with you makes it not much easier, but you push each other because if you're doing it alone, it's one thing. So I'm reading David Goggins' book, and I told you a little bit about him, Mike. He's a former Navy SEAL who at one point in his life was 300 pounds. So he joined the Navy, left the Navy, ballooned up to 300 pounds. It was Air Force. He was in the Air Force. And then he was just ticked off at himself. He was literally going to fast food restaurants and trapping rodents. That was his job. He was like an exterminator. He was like, this is not for me.
No.
So he saw a Navy SEALs commercial. He says, that's what I want to be. So he basically transformed from a 300-pound rodent exterminator to becoming a Navy SEAL, and how he got prepared for it and the mental challenges he had to put himself through that he talks about in the book are amazing. So that's kind of where this popped into my head. I'm like, okay, what if I challenged myself mentally to do certain things over the course of the next year?
Here's what we're not going to do along this journey. When we get to June and July, where we're running out of ideas for our next month's challenge, we are not going to become Navy SEALs. I've seen SEALs training. I'm good. 45 years old, man. I'm done. My body doesn't do that anymore.
There's a good thing about turning 40 because now you're like, the SEALs don't even want you. Like, get out of here, old man.
Seriously. The road, oldster. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I would encourage, if you have a New Year's resolution in mind, I would love it if you reached out to us. You can find us on Instagram at _Brewmance or Facebook. Just type in the Brewmance. You'll be able to find us. Share with us what your plans are for the new year. If you got a New Year's resolution, that's fantastic. It's not something we do, but it's something you do. We want to keep track. We want to hold each other accountable so we can kind of create this Brewmance Mental Challenge 2021 group, because I think 2020 was already mentally challenging enough. So some of these these challenges could be relatively easy based on this past year.
I don't want to know. We want to know because we want ideas as well. We'll come along with you. Maybe in May you're doing something, and let's try that with you. We'll join along in the fold.
Exactly. Now, I do want to mention one thing because we have teamed up with Slavo Salt. This is the seasoning to end all seasonings, the greatest seasoning that I've ever had. So we have a little opportunity for you to take 15% off of your order. Go to slavosalt.com. When you check out, put in the coupon code BREW, B-R-E-W, BREW, slavosalt.com. Save yourself 15%. Trust us. You are going to absolutely love this seasoning.
Here's the deal. Don't trust us. I don't care. Go check it out. No, I'm being serious. They have a 100% money back guarantee. No questions asked. In their entire time in business, they've never used it. All of these products are all natural, no preservatives, no sugar. This is, look, if you're looking to do the whole lose weight thing in the new year, this has no sugar. A lot of the stuff you put, a lot of the seasoning stuff you put on your food has sugar in it, or it has preservatives and bad stuff for your body. All natural, 100% natural, no preservative. Slavosalt.com. Check it out. Code BREW.
15% off. Do it. Do it. Do it. You will not be sorry. So, in a moment that we have left here before we transition to the next segment, I just want to the mental challenge part of my life is where I just need to go to make myself mentally stronger. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what I have. Do I have what it takes to do these things? January, I'm starting off right off the bat, Mike, with an insanely hard challenge for me. So we'll see how I do.
I've seen you over the last 2 years and the changes that you've done and the changes that you've accomplished, and they've been fantastic. I believe you 100%. You'll do it. You got it.
Especially with non-alcoholic beers. The social part is going to be the hardest for me. So we'll see how I do there. In a moment, actually, I'm curious to see which booze products you like too, Mike. I'm really curious to see which ones stand out at the end of the night.
Trying them all.
You gotta love it. That's the way it should be. In a moment, there's a bunch of beer cities, 50 best beer cities in America. Where did Phoenix rank? We'll tell you next on 550 KFYI. The list of the greatest beer cities in America is out. Where does the city of Phoenix land on that list? We will tell you on the Brewmance on the radio. We know where we would put it.
Yes.
Where does this list agree? My name is Rob Hunter. His name is Mike Russell. Each week we gather around a beer of the week, as we call it on the Brewmance on the radio, Arizona's only craft beer radio show. Mike, what is that beer this week?
The Mother Road Conserve and Protect Golden Ale. Used to be the Conserve and Protect Kolsch, is now the Conserve and Protect Golden Ale. The can art is just silly. And big shout out to our buddy Dennis Alonso, that's his truck on the can.
Awesome.
I know. That's
how cool Dennis is.
He's that cool. He's been on TV with his stuff and social. He cool like that. But yes, we'll review this for you in just moments.
Yeah, we will. But before we tell you the disappointing news, the disappointing news is
come on.
We didn't even make, Mike, the top 50 on this list. We did not make the top 50. The city of Phoenix, the city of Gilbert, any city in the valley did not make the top 50 beer cities in the entire country.
That's so dumb. And it's fine. Okay, if you want to sleep on Arizona like you always do, that's fine. We're here enjoying one of the best craft beer scenes in the world, and you think that Ohio is crushing it right now. And I think a lot of it because those were the best places for craft beer drinkers in 2020. So I think some of that might have come down to lockdowns. Might have come down to how Arizona just crushed bars and restaurants, and especially the bars, tap rooms, and the like. So that it might have been part of the COVID thing where they're like Arizona was, just absolutely destroying those small businesses. So not the best place to drink beer.
Which is very interesting in and of itself because you have to weigh that factor. But number one was Cincinnati, Ohio. And part of it is because it's based on number of breweries per resident. They break it down per 100,000 resident. They don't have a lot of breweries in Cincinnati, but they said that's part of it. So I think we have, at least pre-COVID, it was like 75 in the valley, somewhere in that ballpark, over 100 in the state of Arizona. But I know that some have probably closed, some that I'm not aware of. So that number's probably creeping down. Plus, we have like 4.5 million people that live in Maricopa County.
Yeah.
So that number of 74 breweries, while maybe impressive, but per 100,000 resident, maybe not so much.
Here's what to stay away from at the end of the year lists. Just say, don't give me the top this, number one's this. The only things I really bought into was when they would say like the top movies of the year, and that was all based on box office success. So I'm like, okay, because that's a movie's goal, is to make money, have box office success. So, okay, I could buy into that. Everything else, forget about that noise. And by the way, speaking of movies, did you hear Tom Cruise this week? Tom Cruise lost his bleeping mind on two of his staffers on a movie set that were standing close to each other without masks on. He lost it for 2.5 minutes, dropping F-bombs, telling them they're fired. All is crazy. No apologies. Oh, man.
He did a Christian Bale. Remember Christian Bale a few years ago? They had the lighting dude. He's like, I'm trying to do the scene.
No.
And you're messing with the light. You're an amateur, man.
Okay, yeah, Christian Bale's a punk then, because I actually backed Tom Cruise on this one because he lost his mind for a good reason. He's like, they will shut us down, and I have a lot of money involved in this. I have investors in it. I have bankers in it, and you jabronis are going to actually ruin my whole ride because you don't want to follow the California rules. Dude, come on. And California's bending over backwards for the Hollywood industry. Well, not. They're just playing favorites and allowing them to film there. And Tom lost it. Tom, there's ways to do things, and there's ways to not do things. Jumping up on Oprah's couch and bouncing up and down, not the right way to say you love someone. And to reprimand two of your employees, that's not the way to do it.
And especially, too, because it brings up something else that you and I talk about quite frequently is oftentimes the image of people, politicians or movie stars that you see in public is a very well-crafted image that's not the real them. Tom Cruise may be the biggest jerk behind the scenes. I don't know. But this, at least flying off the handle like that, instead of just saying, hey, guys, here's what you're at risk of, shutting down the entire production. because you're not following the rules.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple conversation. So either follow the rules or get out. I mean, it's pretty much that's what I'm trying to tell you right here.
I've been married for almost 18 years and I have 2 children, teenage children, and I never snapped like that. Like I have all the cause in the world to snap like that.
It's true.
I've never snapped like that. Like, dude, you could drop a couple F-bombs and fire up and I'll be in my trailer. Fine. But that is not the right way. Not good management skills.
No,
Tommy.
Exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right. For someone who's so cool, Tom.
But your role in Tropic Thunder was one of the funniest damn things in the history of movies. So God bless you, kid. Yeah,
absolutely. Super talented.
Not a giant Tom Cruise fan, but Tropic Thunder just saved it for me. I'm like, I'm in. I'm on the Tom Cruise train.
Well, because all he makes now is Mission Impossible movies. Well, Mission Impossible 9 or whatever the heck they're filming now. It's like, okay.
Oh, come on. The Fast and Furious you guys talk about. Come on. You and our boss talk about. I'm like, come on, dude. I haven't seen one of those just because there's 11 of them.
I think I've seen 3 of the Mission Impossibles, and I'm like, okay.
I'm with you. No, they're decent.
Yeah, they're fine.
Popcorn movies, just do your thing. You still have not watched Prep and Landing, and this is your goal now. You're going to do this on your vacation. You're going to do this on your vacation. I want you to watch Prep. It's 22 minutes of Christmas movie. Y'all have fun.
All right. Deal. Well, we need something new to Christmas because I was trying to watch Christmas Vacation, which is phenomenal, but I just wasn't into it. I was like,
We have tickets to go see it at Harkins.
Nice.
Every year. Go see it in the theaters.
Well, I got like 3/4 of the way through it. It was enjoyable. We put some lights on the tree, and then that was that. And then I was like, all right, time for bed. I'm good.
I was watching White Christmas. That's an enjoyable movie.
Never seen it.
It really is. OG. I mean, way OG. Bing Crosby here, man. I mean, come on now. One of the coolest of the cool. It's a good movie. It's very old school. Trust me, very old school.
It might be 80 years old now. When did that come out? The 40s?
Why you ask me that question? I have no idea.
I was curious. That's all. I haven't seen. It's so funny too because I grew up. I never watched a lot of movies that are older than me. So I've gone back over the years and I've done a few here or there, but I haven't done it a lot. I don't even know why. I can't even say. Here's the reason why I've never watched movies that were made before 1978. Mike Russell, if you're watching the video,
I'm showing you this.
Is holding up a picture for us.
Because we're talking about White Christmas. That's Bing Crosby holding a limited ducks right there.
Look at that.
He's got a pipe in his mouth. He's just got the plaid shirt on, the OG red and black plaid shirt on. And my man's just digging it outdoors.
Doing his thing.
That's my favorite picture. If you think you're not Bing Crosby smoking a pipe, holding a limit of ducks cool.
Well, it's hard to be that cool now. You're not really allowed to be that cool anymore.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It was just a time gone. Like the way they act in the movies, like it's just time gone.
Time gone. Ain't coming back.
I know. Depressing.
Especially after this year. We may never do anything cool ever again.
Seriously. There's nothing we're going to do this cool again.
Exactly. But I want to go back to this list.
Okay, 56. I apologize.
Phoenix is not on it. It's totally fine. It was a great conversation. It's what we do over craft beer. You open a craft beer, you have a great conversation. So
you end up with pictures of Bing Crosby with ducks.
Yeah, exactly right. But about these lists, the lists don't matter. They use 5 metrics. They don't tell you anything about the quality of the beer. It's basically the available number of breweries. We have plenty. There's room for more, no question about it. Yes. Like in my neighborhood, we need a couple more. North Phoenix, we need a couple more. But this is a great place to live. This is a great place to drink beer. This is a great place to raise kids. What else do you need? You don't need anything else other than that.
You need people from California to stop moving here and voting like knuckleheads. That's what we need. If I'm just going to give my conservative roots, that's fine. I'm like, stop, guys. There was a reason you voted the way you did, and you had to move out of your state.
Yep, exactly.
Change your ways.
Do it. Change your ways quickly. Okay, we have a couple minutes left in this segment.
All right, buddy.
There's a new phenomenon: 2% ABV beers. So a lot of brewers are jumping on the non-alcoholic kick. We've already mentioned that in January I'm going to drink only non-alcoholic beers. Try it out, see if I can do it for 31 days.
I'm going the other way.
Yeah, he's doing all. Mike's going to do all spirits. That's our January challenge.
Yes.
But a lot of breweries now are coming up with low ABV, like 2% beers. So not quite 0%, but not quite 4% either. So 2% beers.
I love this. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm all about it. You want to bring up 2% craft beers? I am all about this all day long, and because you can drink all day long. I love grilling. this weekend I had tomahawk steaks. I did, made the investment, these 90 days dry aged, just tomahawk steaks on the grill. And I want to drink a beer when I'm grilling, or two or three. But I also want to remember the experience of eating that wonderful culinary treat that I just spent hours creating. So I have to really pace myself in that. And a 2% beer, I'll be kicking those back the whole time. I love
exactly
it.
Right.
If it's a good beer, it's 2%. I'm in. Go.
Because that's really what I focused on lately is the taste of the beer. Instead of trying to power through 4 of them, like, man, this is a really well-made beer.
Yeah.
So the question is, can I find any non-alcoholic beers that have the same taste? And the question for Mike is, can he find his spirits that he just wants to sip on and just enjoy and not overdo? We'll see. Yes, the challenges are on their way starting January 1. This is Brewmance.
Yeah, I'm not going to drink whiskey like I drink beer.
No, that's a bad idea. In a moment, we will review for you the Mother Road Conserve and Protect Golden Ale, our beer of the week, right here on the Arizona-only craft beer radio show, the Brewmance on 550 KFYI.
How about having a drink with your kid after you die? Oh, it's not as creepy as you think. It's kind of cool. This is Brewmance on the radio. He's Rob Hunter. I'm Mike Russell. This is Arizona's only craft beer radio show. Each and every week, we gather around a beer of the week, which is, Rob Hunter?
Mother Road's Conserve and Protect. It's a golden ale. It used to be a Kolsch, but they've updated the formula. We're going to rate and review it for you here in just a couple of minutes.
Now, how about this? This guy, he knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to die. He's going to die before his kid turned 21. And that's horrible. I can't even fathom that. I can't even fathom leaving my kids without a dad when they're 20, 21. And my dad died when I was 25, and that was rough enough. But this man left $10 behind. He left $10 for one reason only, is because he wanted his son to go have a beer on him when he was old enough to drink. How cool is that?
Very cool story.
It sounds sad, but it's not sad. It's fantastic. There's everything right with that. This is a great idea. And I'm thinking about with the whole estate planning that we'll be doing next year. I'm thinking about maybe putting that kind of fun stuff into the record, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And the cool thing,
there's going to be a lot of cool crap you have to do, or you get nothing.
Yeah, it's like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Not have any.
You don't get your portion of 0 that I've left you, but it's still going to be fun nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly right. So this happened in Massachusetts, Taunton, Mass. Actually, my dad used to live in Taunton, Mass.
Holy cow.
The kid, his name is John. His dad passed away when he was 15, but he gave him $10 before he passed, and they kind of had saved it. So they put it in an envelope, they taped it up, they put it in the safe.
Oh, my bad. I thought he gave it to a family member. My fault on that one.
Well, no, but they put it in the safe, and then when he turned 21, they took it out, and he bought a nice big Bud Light, which was his dad's favorite, which is pretty cool.
Okay. All right. Yes. Good Lord. I'd have to get either that or Meisterbrow. That would be more punishment than anything else.
I'd have to go for Brewmance Senior's beers. He likes those dark barrel-aged porters that he's way into.
Yes.
Yeah. Either that or have to drink some rum. He's a rum guy.
Over to social media pages. He's done some, Brewmance Senior's done some beer reviews, especially with the Pilsners.
Mm-hmm.
Pilsner. I love that when he does the Pilsner, which basically everything's a Pilsner.
In fact, I got to get him to do another one. It's been a while. We need to hear from Brewmance Senior. Come on, Senior. Get on it, man. Yeah. But that's pretty cool. Here's another cool story that I like. So this is like, we're going to end the year on a couple good notes here on the Brewmance.
Love it.
In that, not only do we have that story where dad left behind money so his son can buy a beer, but also the village of Weston in the city of Wisconsin has decided, because 2020 has been so insane, they're going to half their liquor fees for bars and restaurants, breweries, etc. in 2021. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's only $100 to get apparently a liquor license in that village, but it's going to be $50 for 2021. I'm like, that's cool. And maybe they administer it monthly. I wasn't super clear on all the details in the article that I read, but either way, after basically so many governments screwed over so many businesses by forcing them to shut down, while big box stores made record profits because they were allowed to be open, the least you can do is cut them a break. Because as far as I know, Mike, none of them cut breaks on property taxes, on rent, or anything like that. So that was one of the things I was most upset about Governor Ducey. He just did all this closure for the entire state, but didn't have a plan to help those small business owners. no property tax relief, no rent relief, anything of that nature, business license fee relief. So that was super disappointing, but I'm glad at least one city, this village of Weston in Wisconsin, taking some action.
My old hometown, Huntington Beach, California. I remember when Governor Gavin Newsom shut down everything, and this was late summer. They shut down everything. You can't have nothing indoor. So the mayor of Huntington Beach shut down Main Street, all of Main Street. Main Street was shut down. You couldn't do anything on Main Street because they closed the road. So every one of the restaurants on Main Street can have an outdoor restaurant. And he partitioned off in front of every one of the buildings and said, everybody come out, the stores too, bring out your clothes, bring out all that stuff, and have people shop outside. We're not shutting down. I thought that was pretty cool.
It is cool because you're at least giving businesses an avenue to make revenue, because businesses cannot survive without revenue. And if you force people not to go to a place, they can't make revenue. Because look, you can say takeout all you want, and takeout sales went up, and that's fantastic. However, not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody's going to go out of their way, get food, bring it over to the house. And if you look into DoorDash and all these other Uber Eats and all these things, it's not as beneficial to the restaurant so much as it's so DoorDash and Uber Eats. I think DoorDash takes 30% of the sale, then gets a fee. It's some nonsense like that. So it's basically like bending restaurants over the table and just saying, we're taking everything we can.
But they're desperate. So
Absolutely.
restaurants are desperate. They're like, fine. We're going to, whether you pad it into the price or whatever you do, but you got to keep your doors open. If people are going DoorDash, DoorDash went public. I think they went on NASDAQ and just absolutely, this was this week or last week, and just blew the doors off the place, of course, because they're basically the only game in town. Uber Eats, okay, fine. But DoorDash, I think, has a better brand. What do you say? I don't know, brand loyalty.
Yeah, well, I think they probably have more restaurants too, so they have more signups, and it's able to get like the local restaurant to deliver to your house, not just some of the bigger stuff. So,
and brand
we've used it a few times.
That's what I meant. Brand credibility.
Yeah. So but it's not as easy as we think it is. There's always way more to the story, because I basically believe most of the things that we actually believe, whether it's Tom Cruise is a nice guy, whether it's governments are making the best decisions for COVID, or they know what they're doing, it's all bull, because they don't know what they're doing. They're just guessing. They're like, I don't know. And they're not even at this point doing it with the best intentions in heart, which is so frustrating, as Mike and I are small business owners, but it is. City of Phoenix even said it. My city, the city I live. Mike is smart. He doesn't live in the city of Phoenix. No. He's a Goodyear guy.
Right.
I might move out there because it's nuts. They basically said, the mayor of Phoenix said, we're fine. We have more money in our bank account right now than ever. So they don't care that they shut down businesses. They don't care that they're not getting the tax revenue from these places, because they got enough money, because Donald Trump and the government bailed them out.
And they're going to continue to bail them out. And the sad thing is we need to get vocal as we possibly can, that the bailouts need to come not to the government level, but to the small business level. And when I talk about small business level, I'm talking about the craft beer industry. I mean, we were on a trajectory that was just, we were going to be the tops of all those lists, because we just had the right community, the right blend. Everything was right. We had the right government regulation. I would say limited government regulation, and we had the right community. It was on its way. So we need government to get out of the way, unless they're going to start paying up. And if you start paying up, I need you to get down to the small business levels, including especially the craft beer industry.
That's where it's going to make the most impact. And if you're going to steal my tax dollars, I want it at least to make an impact, no question about it. Or if you're going to borrow from Mike's kids' future, let's make sure it actually has an impact, so we actually have a future for Mike's kids' kids. Get what I'm getting at?
They're on their own. My grandkids, you're on your own. He's just,
yeah, but now you're sounding like Pelosi.
Figure it out like Uncle Rob and I did, okay?
Exactly. Well, that's true, but if the whole country's in billions and trillions and trillions and $100 trillion in debt, we're all screwed. So benefits everybody.
Hopefully I leave them some stimulus. How about that?
Exactly right. All right, let's review our beer of the week. Brought to you by Slavo Salt. Our beer review of the week brought to you by Slavo Salt. Go to slavosalt.com. You get 15% off the greatest seasoning ever. Like, not a joke. Ever. Mike and I both agree on this. This seasoning is fantastic. So you go to slavosalt.com. You get 15% off if you enter the keyword brew at checkout. The keyword brew, slavosalt.com.
Have you put it on a Bloody Mary yet?
No, but I put it on broccoli. I put it on I put it on green beans. I put it on steak. I will put it on a Bloody Mary.
And take it to the movies with you for the popcorn. No lie.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so good. So let's talk about this. This Conserve and Protect Golden Ale used to be a Kolsch. Now it is a golden ale. And the cool thing about this, the thing that gets me excited about it is that some proceeds go to on-the-ground conservation efforts for the Game and Fish Department. I mean, Mother Road gets it. They understand the way to fund conservation is to get everyone involved. And what a better way to get it. I can't think of a better way to get everyone involved than a good craft beer. This golden ale is stupid good. It really is. This is a really, really good ale. It is drinkable. It's crushable. It's got everything in it. What are we weighing in here at? 8%?
4.3.
4.3. Oh,
yep.
What was I looking at? I was saying, well, I need glasses. How about that? 4.3. I could do 4 of these easy. This is a 9 all day long with me.
I'm going to match your 9. It's awesome. I love this beer. It's better than the Kolsch. The Kolsch was pretty good. This just takes it to the next level. It's got a little bit of a sweetness, but a little bit of a dryness at the same time. It's so easy to drink. It goes down smooth, baby, smooth.
It's a camp beer.
Yeah.
It's a great camp beer. Fantastic camp beer.
I want another one. See, these are the kind of beers that are going to make January hard for me because I got to go non-alcoholic. And tasting this beer, I'm like, goodness, this is such a good tasting beer. Can I do it? Well, we're going to give it a shot. That's what we're going to do.
I might do 4 of these on New Year's Eve because I've got to go to Spirits after that. So
that's true. That is
30
true.
Days of Spirits.
Check us out. We are available for you in a lot of ways. We'd love to interact with you at the _Brewmance on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/the Instagram. Obviously, you're listening to the radio show right now. We also have a podcast that is separate from the radio show. You can find everywhere you get podcasts. His name is Mike Russell. My name is Rob Hunter. Thank you for opening up a beer and hanging out with us on the Brewmance on the radio here on 550 KFYI.
Cheers, everybody.